In this clip, I'll show you how we create a table of values, and then we're going to use that table of values to investigate just what effect commission has on somebody's income. And before I begin, I just wanted to give you a heads up that I'm going to be using some math skills that were outlined in detail on some earlier clips. You might want to have a look at the clip for determining commission, as well as the clip for converting percent to decimal, because I'll be using those a little bit later. So let's go ahead and read our problem that we've been given. Sylvie has a job in sales. Each month she earns $2,000 in salary plus 5% commission. Create a table of values to show her monthly earnings from $0 to $10,000 in steps of $2,000. Before we can go ahead and just make a table of values, we need to understand this problem. We are dealing with somebody that earns a paycheck with a base salary of $2,000 per month. That means that even if she didn't make any sales in the month, she'd still at least earn $2,000. However, her company has given her a bonus called a commission. 5% of whatever she sells in the store gets added to her paycheck at the end of the month. And the table of values that we're being asked to create is used to answer the question, well, what if Sylvie were to earn $4,000 in sales in that month? How much would she bring home on her paycheck? And what about if she earned $6,000 in sales in that month? How much would she bring home on her paycheck then? And we're going to show that all the way from $0 to $10,000, going upwards by $2,000 each time. And the first step for creating our table, we need to create the grid lines. That is the actual empty rows and columns. Let's do that now. So let's ask ourselves some questions. How many rows is our grid going to need? Well, we need a row for 0, because we're starting at 0, and we're going up by 2,000. So that's 0, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, and 10,000. I count 6 rows. Plus, we're also going to need an extra row at the top so we can put in some labels. That's 7 rows. Now, how about columns? Well, we'll need a column to list the sales. That is the numbers 0, 2,000, 4,000, and so on up to 10,000. As well, we'll also need a column to show how much commission or bonus money she's earned from those sales. And finally, we'll need a column to list her monthly earnings. That is the amount on her paycheck. So we need a grid, 7 rows down and 3 columns across. Our next step is we need to label in this row just what each column is all about. Well, the first one will just list the sales. The second one will list how much commission she's earned on those sales. And finally, we'll tally up her sales and her commission, and that will be her monthly earnings. That's how much she gets on her paycheck. This sales column doesn't actually need any calculations at all. We're just going to list from 0 to 10,000 in steps of $2,000. And I've gone ahead and just added the remaining numbers, just making sure I go up by 2,000 each time. In step 2, we'll actually calculate how much commission she's earning on each one of these monthly sales. And finally, we'll calculate how much she's earning per month. Her commission is 5% of each one of these numbers, and my answer will go right here. The first one's pretty simple. 5% of $0 is a big fat 0. She had a really terrible month if she sold absolutely nothing. She gets no bonus money, and her monthly earnings will just be her base salary, which is up here. It's $2,000. But if she earns $2,000 sales, she gets a piece of that. So we need to calculate that. To find 5% of $2,000, I need to convert 5% to decimal and then multiply it with 2,000. Okay, at this stage, if you're not sure how I did this, I strongly encourage you to check out an earlier mini clip on determining commission. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my calculator for this. 0.05 times 2,000. And I get an answer of 100. Okay, so she gets a bonus of $100, meaning her monthly paycheck will be her base salary of 2,000 plus the commission. So 2,000 plus whatever she earned in commission. In this case, it's $100, and that is $2,100. Now at this stage, for each one of these, I'm just going to repeat these calculations using slightly different numbers. I'm going to use 4,000, then 6,000, then 8,000, and 10,000. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you my result. Here are my values for her commission, and what I did each step, I just replaced the $2,000 with 4,000 or 6,000 and so on. Now the nice thing about doing a table is that it's pretty visual. For instance, right off the bat, I can see a trend here. These numbers look like they're increasing by 100 every step. So every time she sells $2,000 extra in the store, she's getting $100 more bonus money, and that money goes on to her final paycheck. So her final paycheck, if she sold $4,000 in the store, would be $2,200. Again, her base salary of $2,000 plus her commission. Likewise, I'd have $2,300, and so on. Another reason you might want to do a table is that it's the first step towards making a really nice graph, and graphs are extremely visual. So these trends that I've outlined here, you could see almost instantly on a graph. And now I'd like you to go ahead and try a problem over here that I'll present, and then I will post the solution down below when you're ready. So go ahead and try this one on paper using the same steps I just showed you. Steve works in retail selling computers. His monthly salary is $4,000 plus 8% commission. Create a table of values to show his monthly earnings from $0 to $12,000 in steps of $3,000. Okay, go ahead and try that one now. How did you make out? I've gone ahead and shown you the solution here in blue on the right. Here are the values I got for commission, and finally the values for monthly earnings.